Hi guys, the mini game is back. Where are you guys preparing for? I'm being held captive by a Catnap. In the Playtime factory. He said when I get to 2 million, he just let me out. So please click the subscribe button below. By the way, help me with that. While being captured discovered all the aggregates for the story of this weasel. Don't waste any more of your time. Let's go back to Poppy's story. Playtime. Opening section. It's a cartoon about smile centers, and I've analyzed this movie. You can find it in the previous videos. Now let's go to your own content. If you remember, at the end of the main character had an accident on a train. Toy factory. The reason is that Poppy has changed course. According to my analysis, Poppy's goal is to lead the main character to the destroy the Catnap cat. However, I can't touch a Catnap's growing hair. Let's start part B. The main character was Catnap. Throw down the plant's waste disposal system. Thanks to the hands magic purchase from the previous 2 games. The main character has just escaped an accident. In the process of wandering near the Catnap accidentally caught the main character near the burning train. So it let the main character go to the scrapyard. That's why we have the first game sequence. Immediately after leaving the waste disposal, go to the manager's room. This landfill. This is where Catnap threw the main character into the processing tunnel. The main character sees a video about Miss Harper's conversation together with a manager of the Blathen company. You've adopted a child in Blake County. The girl's name is Mary. But after inhaling the Catnap's red smoke, Mary had a nightmare. It's even a seizure. Miss Harper was horrified and asked the Black Hole Company to handle the situation. Through the last video, we can see it too. The indifference of the team of 5 managers at the company. They do have authority. You care about your employees as much as you care about them. They don't want the staff to talk about the kids. Moss is in the Black Hole plant because all of these experiments have been done silently in the dark. Skip the video. Main character. Keep moving in the waste disposal zone. A while later, there's a phone call to the main character. According to this voice, his name is Only. With the help of Only, that the main character escaped from the landfill and head straight to the play care area. Only explained that it was Poppy who deliberately brought the main character and her friends. They all need a main character to beat them. Play care area is considered as the sanctuary of Catnap. It used to be a restaurant for the spill and cryptos. Currently, there are only organized hunts around the play area. Care before the end of the call. He only added that he will keep in touch with the main character under the guidance of Only. The main character also found the play care area. This is a fairly large area. It's like a small town with many utilities to serve the lives of the orphans. That Playtime adopted. Just arrived at play care. Ori guides the main character. Go to the red gas producing area. According to Ori, to reach out to a number 06, the main character will have to transfer all this red gas to the left. Also here, the main character has found the purple hand. Main character to overcome places with high terrain. This is why the main character easy to activate the electrical red gas production plants. However, when it's just moving the gas and the glass cage all of a sudden, all of the power to the plant, it seems someone deliberately cut off the power supply in the neighborhood. The main character needs to go to the home to reactivate the generator. And from now on, the real nightmare of Part BA has just begun. After getting the key of the home sweet home, the main character enters the house. Even though the entire play care area but the home is almost always electric. However, it still exudes a very scary atmosphere. And obsessing why. It's like the abandoned houses in the movies. That's horrible. There is no way back. The main character is forced to cross a red smoke. It's very dense without any protective equipment. Through the red smoke, the main character enters a hallway. The length of the street home. Here we hear a piece of news related to they found the body of a boy. The Elliot Pluswick house. Too hard to answer questions about the body. The company Playtime has denied They say that Elliot lied in his good heart. They would never commit such terrible crimes. But the truth is, that's exactly everyone knows what a child living in the blatant company's daycare. They've transferred the child's consciousness into a toy. So the baby's body was thrown away and put after in a while. Only call the main character through a desk phone in the house. The boys said only one thing. The main character. Then the Catnap appeared 10 pokes behind the main character's next. It's a very creepy, breathless road trip inside the hallway. The seemingly endless home of the box almost home reminds me of a super horror game by Kojima. SBT, a horror game that doesn't need too much charm, but it's still super creepy and obsessing in an ineffable way. Let's go back to Poppy Playtime. Main character. It's like getting lost in the hallway of a box. After a short walk, Ole called out to the main character, the saying that I believe in. In fact, the main character is in a nightmare after crossing a room full of red smoke earlier. However, the main character continues in the hallway and get to the staff room. At the box house almost home, the main character finds that Playtime companies used to welcome new employees. What's interesting is that in the back of the video, Husky is transformed into a monster. It's disgusting. After a series of cruel curses, it's disgusting the husky coming out of and chase the main character. No matter how hard the main character can't escape the clutches of this husky. But thanks to that the main character can escape even if it's just a dream. But through it, I've also surmised a few things, especially the ecstasy of the main character. As I've analyzed in previous videos, maybe the main character was a kid living at home street and then become an official employee at the play factory. Thanks to that, the main character knows almost all the play companies timed on. But because of the panic, I dare not report those crimes. That the main character chooses to quit his job at the play company. As the United States says in a nightmare, he cursed the main character and welcome home. After years of separation, or a sentence appears on the board with the text, sins will always hunt people. Even if you run from the past, the main character. I can't find peace either. The only way to multiply, the main thing to be freed is to confront this crime. Expose it for the whole world to know. Go back to the main story after waking up. The main character discovered I was in the middle of a room filled with red smoke. The main character's current mission is to find a generator very quickly. However, this task is not easy because Catnap will be loitering in the to hunt down the main character. In the process of discovering home, the main character finds recorded by the staff of the orphanage. The tape talks about the state of experiment through the video. We know that the experiment was actually a baby living at home almost home. It's called Kevin. During the experiment, the scientist Kevin's condition was detected. So I moved him out of the house almost to perform a mysterious surgical scene. Keep moving in the house. The main character saw Messi. Messi is sitting in his room reading a book. There's a picture of a little girl in a pink dress in that room. Maybe this is a detail that alludes to the Messi is the girl. In the street home, we can still see there's a whole area full of cribs for babies. This means that it's not just doing experiments on babies. There is a perception of play company. I'm ready to do experiments on babies. And then the main character finds another video. There was a man named Dr. White to the orphanage to bring a baby named Samurai away from home sweet home. It's not actually an adoption procedure. It's the process of selecting the test of blatant company. But the kids at home sweet home, I didn't know that. They think that the chosen child is the child. I was lucky after a visit to my home. Then the main character also starts successful, however. I just walked out of that house. The main character reunites with Messi and Poppy. Kissy Messi intends to attack but the main character. Poppy stopped it. Poppy explained that the hurt in the past, the squid home made Kissy Messi extremely nervous. This is to reassure the main character. Poppy has officially spoken out at Sal. It can't let the main character go in an easy way. Just explain. Poppy just brought the main character power back on for the entire play care area. And then Poppy said, because it saw the ability of the main character. When the main character can solo the mighty monster, Husky and Mommy. So it believes that the main character is capable to beat experiment 1 number 06. Before parting with the main character, added, injury is the last obstacle. To be able to face experiment 1 number 06. So by all means, it must escape the pursuit of this grave. And then beat it. It's over. The main character temporarily parted Poppy with to continue the mission. Based on the information Poppy provided, that it's not just Poppy and Messi. Messi is with us. But there's also a couple of other characters. There's a boy who's only still supporting us. The theory. The main character is a child who used to live at home. Almost 100%. Because Poppy mentioned that the main character ever been attacked by monsters. Catnap is the last obstacle, which means it's very likely that Poppy's Playtime is the end. The whole truth about experiment 1 together with the Playtime will be revealed. But that's the story of the future. Now let's go back to the main story. In what part BA? I only contact the main character now. After the power in the dome area is turned back on. Our mission right now is about restoring energy in the gas sector. Red color to do this. We need to connect the power from the generator in the surrounding building. Back to the central area is below the statue. We've turned on the power from the daycare home. Almost home. So now we can wire it from there. But that's only 50% of the time. We need to turn on more power from another building. Which building to choose? It's very dangerous anywhere. Especially it's filled with bloodthirsty toys. Especially Catnap show. The safest option right now is school. where catnaps don't usually care. This area is only open to the main character. But even though catnaps don't hang around in this area, that's not why this place is safe. There's a toy. It's entirely possible to take your life. And before Oli could tell who it was, the main character lost contact with him. Suddenly, a woman begins to contact her brothers. Her name is Miss Delate. Looks like this lady is the babysitting teacher and teaching for the orphans at the kindergarten, because she thought we were students, and asked him to sit in his chair until the bell rang. But she quickly realized that, but he's still a former employee. He used to work at the company. She's surprised we're still alive, because according to what we know, the whole staff is here. They were all killed by toys 15 years ago, and with them missing one, Kattens would want to find the main character. So, Miss DeLay advised us to leave this place, of course, for accepting Poppy's help. So we can't leave here. So Miss Delay decided to go hunting. Main character. She said she'd love to see us. They're screaming, like the ones who've been butchered by toys before. Not on the way. You'll see a cartoon cover of Missy Light. Makeup of her, not based on any monster, living with a more real person, with a bib that looks like a real teacher. The main character finally arrived. The room has a generator. So when you put the power in the generator, Miss Delay with bone, the meat appeared and smashed the machine with a mace. Miss Delay's body parts after 15. It's almost rotten. That's what makes her look like now. It looks terrible, and she just moves. When the main character doesn't look it, bankrupt plans and even being pursued by Miss Villa. So the main character has to run away if we get rid of this teacher. After flipping the switch and causing her to slam. She's got a hold of me now. Guys, way back to the main character. We have to go deeper into play care. And I also picked up a device to complement his wrapper. It's a flare gun, which will be extremely helpful in helping you survive. The only way here, lead us deep underground, where there's a giant cave system. There's nothing special down here. This place looks like a construction site. It seems that the company wants to expand that area. There are no toys down here. What monster is there to hunt you? So just take advantage of the puzzle quickly to find our way to the ground. But down here, there's an area that looks very bizarre. It's a human-like mannequin standing in front. Lots of bodies of different toys. Because it's too far away, so I couldn't look very closely. Let's see how specific it looks. But it seems to be a statue to honor Experiment Anato 6 that we've seen so many times in the previous trailer. And our way out lead me to a place I don't want to go. Somewhere in the playhouse area. Territory of the Catnap, where only now has warned us. Should not enter, just walked in. We were greeted by a monster. It looks harmless, but I can't be subjective. Fire a flare too. Startled him and ran away. And not just one. Where this place is the lair of a bunch of smelling brothers. They're constantly coming up and chasing the path main here character. Is designed as a maze. In the original purpose. Let the kids in here play hide and seek or something. But right now I'm hiding, and the Smell and Christus are actively looking for me. The feeling of being surrounded in the dark. They're everywhere. And I have to use magic bullets because if they come and I don't fire it's game over away. Now. Finally, I got out of the maze of smiling cryptos. On the other side, there's a but it's also running out of water. And behind the door, it's the prison that we've seen in this poster. There is only one prisoner in the prison. That's the dog. He's hanging up, and the entire lower body is gone. Doc Day calls us Poppy's Angels to save the toys. But there's no one to save this place, because this is Catnap's house. Millions of eyes. I'm watching the main character. It seems that Doc Day is referring to the smiling that little thing we clashed with earlier. And when we catch our prey, they get into the victim's stomach and eat everything inside, leaving only the outer skin. And the reason Doc Day was hung up and locked up in jail, it's because it didn't obey the order of the 06 experiment. And anyone who doesn't follow will be punished. Looseling Twitter Tiny Obey Command Catnap, because they don't want to suffer the fate of Doc Day. In the words of Dog Day. He's the last surviving Smiling Christus. Watch out next to Catnap and then Playtime also created 6 more Smiling Christus. Let's get enough formation. But the other 6 were all killed. Doc Day advises us to get out of here quickly. It believes that the main character and Poppy will end the damned madness. Everything here. I can't finish the sentence. A bunch of little monsters just appeared, and it starts to get inside the Dog Day's body. The dog screamed in pain. When the monsters start to devour what's left inside your body. And then the screams disappeared. Monsters have taken over Dog Day's and control it like a puppet. The main character quickly runs away, only as bait for the smiling cryptos. And we're finally getting into this pipeline to lead back to the ground without ever having to meet a Catnap. Ori quickly contacted the main character. I'm glad we're alive and well. And as I predicted earlier, that's what we see in the Temple Cave. Experiment Anato 6 do Catnap build. Then only tell the main character the origin of Catnaps. I have analyzed this megam, but for those of you who forget, the previous Catnap was a boy. Do listen to Experiment 1. So the boy tried to help him escape. Unfortunately, A number of seriously injured, but because the injury was too severe, so they put his mind to it. A giant toy. That's Catnap, and ever since. Catnap worship Experiment Anato 6 as and punish those who dare to disrespect. If you look at it, it's horrible. According to Ole, it's still nothing compared to the 1.0, not the real version, because the school's generator was destroyed. So we've got to use another generator, and the only option is the machine inside. The nursery management department has never met Catnap before. It's definitely inside this building. He knows the main character is and it's no different than a real predator. It stalks, not jumps in like a mommy or a husky. We can never be sure ahead. Is it safe to continue? The deeper you get inside, the red gas is getting denser, and the main character has to constantly want to fall into a nightmare. This goat connection is a bit complicated, so I skipped to you guys. I guess you know we've connected the goats, and looking for a way back. So far, I haven't seen the silhouette. I thought it was safe. No. The cat caught up to us and suddenly grabbed the main character. Fortunately, the path can't come to us, and one of the main characters begins to fall asleep. He saw a picture of the embankment nursery, and the AI also heard Poppy's recount the terrible things that the kids have been through here, that this is the reason. Make him determined to end it all. The main character wakes up. I find myself inside, and with that, Canada's voice is buzzing around. It's telling us to get out of flight care, or he will take his life. On the outside, the lights are down. Make everything go dark. Now we just need to wire it from the generator. We've activated it before. To the statue is that the energy will reach 100%. The connection is now completely outside, so we don't have to go back with inside the building. Now just plug it into the control room, just under the statue. The battery is fully charged, and we can take it to the gas chamber. So we can open the door. Get angry down. It must be the detention center of the 06-year-old experiment. Will of course have to stop this. It's there immediately to chase the main character. A chase with the last boss. In accordance with the tradition of the first Come here. You can see it all. The whole body of this cat. It's all ribs. And now, its mouth can stretch many times more than normal. Form a chilling smile. To move forward, you need to plug for batteries, but first you have to activate the plug. I try to do it as fast as I can, but when I finished, the door didn't open. There's electricity here, or I have to touch it. The current is too strong. It made me get shot. The door to the ceiling opened, and the crate went blind to grab the main character. With the power, the main character shoots out an electric. It set his whole body on fire. The black burning cat lies writhing in pain. Suddenly, the hand of Experiment Anato 6 even though the cat's face has only one expression. But I can see the joy. When Experiment 1 number 6 is salvation, but what it's getting is an oblique blow to the head. The cat died on the spot and was dragged away by a number 06. That's exactly what happened to the last two bosses. Finally, we can also go to the gas chamber without having to worry about the screaming cat. All the gas has been sucked out, which reveals a giant manhole cover. Manhole cover open. And inside is a big elevator to go down to the deepest level of this place. But before going down, Poppy has something to tell us about. The original purpose of the search for the truth about the disappearance of colleagues. 15 years ago, and in Poppy's hands was the tape. Records what happened on that fateful day. The fate of all the employees suddenly disappeared. 15 years ago is about to be revealed. It's called the Choi. Everything started very normal. The company employees standing around the main hall of the factory where we used to go. In part 1, suddenly, giant husky dog grabs a person, and it continues to attack others. Are there now? Next is the play care area. That fine noodles come down, catch the people running underneath, and then let them fall freely from above. Of course, the victim died instantly. The next scene is a person suffering from a group of some or maybe spirits. They're little huskies. It's not very clear, but in the end, there was only one. Next is the scene of an employee being attacked cornered inside a room. I guess it didn't end well for him either. Messi was also involved in this massacre. The outer time takes place. That's when they shipped it to the machine. Playtime Messi grabs the moving staff, move it, and hit them like toys. Boxy Boo is also present. You can see it devouring its female victims. It's in the play care area. You can see the bodies of the workers are lying down. There was a man on the ground, and suddenly, deceived by a snarl, a splashing of the head. Ultimate camera, continuously to different areas of the plant. Bodies fill the floor. Guns must be in the thousands. Poppy told what she saw for herself. On that day, a massacre that lasted for more than an hour. What the victims went through was extremely painful. They find every way to survive. But one AI survived, and according to Poppy, what it's seeing is a killing spree. Guilty or not guilty, everyone who was present the day was killed, and their death doesn't solve anything. And when you've killed everyone, the toys dragged everyone's bodies down to the floors and devour. It's the food that keeps them alive, and the mastermind for the tragedy. Experiment 1 must pay for this crime by his life. That's Poppy's ultimate goal. Extermination experiment a number
Kissy
06.
support dial number
so
elevator.
that it can accompany the main
Downstairs.
character. The elevator can only take to people at
So
the
Poppy
same
had
time.
to let Kissy
When
stay.
we get down to where it's going, let the ladder
While
go
going
up to
down,
pick up
suddenly
Kissy. There was a goosebump sound,
accompanied by
seems to be
screams.
Kissy's. There's that AI that attacked
Into
Messy.
Poppy
as soon as you press the ladder,
But the
back
hatch
up.
suddenly closed.
And like Poppy and the main character,
The game
underneath.
also closes
I
here.
have to wait until part 4. Mill it above is my whole game analysis of the
Poppy
BA
Playtime.
part. That's exactly what the developers said.
This part of the
it's
game.
actually the most terrifying version ever. The worst thing about part 3,
That's the
we've
thing.
had a few catnap encounters. I hope when we get to the next part, experiment 1 number 06 will have
Compared
more
to
land
Catnap
shown.
of section
But what I'm
BA.
analyzing today is
It's all Poppy Playtime.
I'll upload more videos
To
analyze all the mysteries.